My name is Kelly Tinkler. I'm a commercial disputes lawyer. I do complex international commercial disputes and arbitrations. I have been with Keystone Law for 2 years now, having worked in a series of city firms in the City of London for 20 years. The frustration of previous firms is pretty well known to most junior lawyers. There's the fight to get into your office. There's the need to be sitting at your desk at 6 o'clock at night unless a comment is made. There is having to generate 3 times your own salary to pay the profits of the senior partners and the firm's rent. And there are the pointless, endless meetings. I'd heard of the Keystone model through the legal press, and when I started looking around for another firm to join, I was interviewing with both traditional firms and new model firms or chamber-style model firms. And I guess I heard myself in interviews saying that I was going to bring in £400,000 to £500,000 worth of business, and the traditional firms would tell me that that would get me £120,000 worth of income, and the Keystone model would generate 3 times that amount. So eventually I could start hearing my own voice and asking why on earth I was looking at a traditional model. Keystone have given a great deal of time and energy to making sure it's very easy to integrate into the firm. When I first started, it happened to coincide with the skiing weekend, and so I missed my induction by 2 weeks. But I still found I was able to use the IT system to run conflict checks, to generate retainer letters, and to actually do substantive work purely intuitively, because the computer systems are just that far advanced compared with what I'm used to at a traditional law firm. The work I do is high-level commercial disputes, which are resolved either through arbitration or high court litigation. Most of what I do has an international element, and because of the size of it, I invariably need a team to support me to do that work. At Keystone, we have 70 partner-level litigators to call upon. In the 2 cases that I'm taking to trial this year, one is going to trial in July. It's a construction case, and I'm certainly not a construction litigator, so we have brought in a Keystone construction specialist to effectively run that case subject to my supervision, and that is listed for 12 days in the TCC in July. I have just finished another case for a company in the timeshare industry. It is I think it is the largest timeshare company in the world, and it had a fight in relation to a timeshare in Spain. That was a 10-day trial in the Chancery Division, and one of the central office lawyers, who's 2 years PQE, ran that trial for me subject to my supervision. So invariably I'm pulling in other Keystone lawyers. I've in fact been sufficiently busy that I've retained my own paralegal full-time, so I have someone on call, not quite 24 hours a day, but someone on call whenever I need them. When you first join Keystone, you'll get taken to a series of lunches with other Keystone lawyers, both new joiners and also some old hands, and so you get to know people through those. There's also a CPD lecture every month, so you'll get specialist CPD lectures followed by drinks at the Law Society. There's also champagne tastings, wine tastings, art gallery visits. There are also specialist weekends away, so I participate in the skiing weekend, but there's also a horse riding weekend, cycling weekend, golf weekend. There's a Christmas party and a summer party, so you have plenty of opportunities to meet your other fellow lawyers. We have approximately 300 partner-level lawyers at Keystone, which would make it one of the largest firms in London if it was a traditional pyramid structure. The lawyers themselves have all come up through the ranks and have all developed their own practices and specialties, and so they are already people who you can rely upon, both in terms of their expertise and in terms of client management. They are outgoing and fun people on the whole. We are careful to make sure that we continue to recruit people who are outgoing and easy to get on with. In Chancery Lane, there is the full array of solicitor support that you would expect of any law firm. So there is an IT department who are expert at fixing your laptop when things go wrong. There's a marketing department who can either raise your profile or assist you generating pitches. There is a full admin service, so they will help you with posting letters, arranging couriers, getting photocopying done, the full support. And there are the Chancery Lane central office lawyers, so ranging from paralegals all the way up to 2-year PQE lawyers who will assist you on matters. Keystone has definitely been the best move that I've ever made. The flexibility of working means that I can work from my home office and I don't have any commute time. I get to see my 3-year-old twins every morning and every afternoon. And in terms of the figures that I've generated, they are beyond my wildest dreams, actually. It's been a fantastic move for me, and I'm loving every minute. Obviously, joining Keystone is a leap in the dark in the sense that you're going from a regular salary to a pure commission base. I did a couple of tests to make sure that that was going to work for me. The first test I did was to work out the number of hours I would have to do per week in order to maintain the same salary that I was on at my previous firm. So I took the annual income, I multiplied it by 1.3 to gross it up. I divided that by my chargeable hours and divided that by 52. And the figure I came up with was 6 hours a week. All I had to do was find 6 billable hours a week and I was going to maintain my income. And so that gave me great comfort because I knew that was a complete disaster scenario. The other test I applied was to look at my previous 5 years in terms of bringing in work and working out which was my worst year ever and dividing that in 2. And then I applied the model to it, and again, that produced a greater income for me than staying with a traditional law firm. Those 2 tests meant that coming to Keystone, I felt entirely comfortable that this was going to work for me.